War 3 begins in just 51 days. Set your calendar, everyone. Get your shopping done, because 51 days, those aren't my words. Those are actual headlines from mainstream Western media warning us all that doomsday is coming soon. Exact date: World War III will start as new Nostradamus claims it's just weeks away. The new Nostradamus. July 18th, by the way, is the date. July 18th, 2024. It happens to be the exact date that the new Nostradamus warned us about. Yes, a guy that people call the new Nostradamus said this, and Western publications run with it, of course, as journalist Vladimir Kornilov writes this morning in a great piece called "The West is accuming itself to the thought of an imminent world war." If you've been watching any media recently, you see that there's a growing narrative right now being pushed by Western media and political elites. I'd love to get your guys' take on this. I mean, if you see this conditioning that's happening right now to accept something unimaginable and the onset of World War III, basically. This is not fear-mongering. This is a call to awareness, essentially. What I'm trying to do is explain how they're preparing you for this. Normalizing this, trying to desensitize you to it. So many of you were calling out in the chat, you know, when that Civil War movie was being pushed on us. Like, what are they trying to prep us for? What are they trying to prep us for with the Civil War movie that the Obamas, like, rolled out? What are they trying to...
Not subtle, is it?
It's not subtle at all. I mean, when you have all these mainstream media publications talking about that we are either in World War III or about to hit World War III.
But that date doesn't work for me. Can I just reject the calendar invitation?
You won't have a choice if they're dropping nuclear weapons, or if NATO decides they're fully going to be engaging Russia. So they're trying to desensitize you to it. That, don't worry, folks, World War III won't be that bad. This is what their narrative is right now. Great. Get ready for it. Don't fall for it, though.
Yeah, judging by the last two world wars, yeah, it's going to be a cakewalk. Because if world wars are anything to go by, no one will barely notice.
Went well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the media, it's amazing to me because the media is normalizing this idea. They're treating it as mundane, sort of an inevitable occurrence, something unpleasant, but ultimately just totally tolerable, that you can kind of get through it.
Shalom, shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. I'm going to give double honors to the elders and the apostles, a great millstone and rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in this gospel, broad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is just a quick lesson through the spirit titled, Putin warns Russia, prepare for NATO attacks along border. As we know that the war in Ukraine ultimately led to this particular conflict with the West and NATO, with Russia and the West, because we know that NATO was basically backing up the Ukraine, and there was a division among the Ukrainians because a lot of them wanted to stay under Russian Federation, and a lot of them wanted to pretty much sell out to the Western elite, which is always the case with these particular countries. Same thing with China and Taiwan. You got Taiwan that pretty much sold out to the West. So, you know, now they're talking about U.S. troops going down to the Ukraine and training those soldiers, when in fact, NATO is the most highly prolific military in Europe. And they've trained the Ukrainian soldiers, and they totally got decimated by the Russians. So what would America do when they have a weaker military than the NATO alliance? But ultimately, I wanted to focus on World War III is just a rumor, even though technically the Third World has already started. But when you think of World War III, you think of nuclear weapons, which is still just a rumor until the MOTB is here. So at the beginning of the video, he specified that World War III would start in 51 days. And I'm assuming that was just like some type of, I won't say conjecture, but that was probably some type of facetiousness or some sarcasm, because, you know, they were reading off a particular pamphlet. Like it says, exact date World War III would start as new Nostradamus claim is just weeks away. And to be technically honest, World War III really started during the time of the Cold War, because we're still in the time of the Cold War, which was literally not too distant future from World War II. So with that being said, we still have prophecies that has to be fulfilled as far as the MOTB. And if you've seen the nations and attentions among the U.S. economy and the world's global economy, you could clearly see that they're trying to do away with the dollar because everybody is marching to get their currency in top position, so to speak, so they don't have to be indebted to the dollar. Because I believe every nation on the planet Earth sold off the debt of America. Like China was the biggest buyer of American debt, you know, and once they start dumping the debt and not buying into it anymore, a lot of the money is going to come back to America, and basically you're going to have hyperinflation. Okay, you think the cost of rent is up 5 to 10%. Shit, just wait till they start dumping the US dollar completely and not buying the debt anymore. Then you better believe that this place will be a third world country in a matter of days, if not overnight, which will ultimately lead into a societal collapse, which will ultimately lead to these global tensions among these different nations and countries, and they will go to war behind that. But the MOTB has to be established first, okay? And they're talking about the Fed now, the new Bitcoins and all this other shit, BRICS cutting the dollar off finally and all this other stuff by the end of this year. And possibly we could see a digital dollar by next year, Lord's will. Now, they was hitting at it this year as well, back last year during the time of the pilot program, starting back in 2023 when they knocked off all these, like the Bitcoin. I think they killed that guy. Was it Bitcoin or with no PayPal? And I believe Cash App. Okay, I think they murdered like the two CEOs or the founders of those particular algorithms. They knocked them off, and then all of a sudden they went into a pilot program on this Fed now shit, okay, which is pretty much going to be the blanket to harness the CBDC, which the CBDC is going to be wrapped up into the MOTB and all your information. So World War III would not be nuclear until the MOTB is established. So we have to make sure that that thing is, or we have to make sure that that is put out there or qualified. As the apostles say, you have to qualify what you speak. All right, so anyway, I got just a couple of precepts here. I want to start in verses Jeremiah 49, and I want to start at verses, let's start at verses 13, because America will be destroyed and World War III will be nuclear. Okay, Esau just dragging his feet when it comes to this technology, but the way that it's looking, you know, as far as how they're switching over the infrastructures and everything is digital, they can have this system up in a matter of months if they wanted to. But, you know, Esau wants to drag out his rulership, you know. But anyway, this is the book of Jeremiah 49 and 13. And it reads, it says, "For I have sworn by myself, says Yahweh, that Bozrah," which Bozrah is talking about you Edomites, which is a capital city in Edom. Okay, modern day Bozrah is America because this is Esau's primary hub. All right, it says Bozrah should become a desolation and a reproach and a waste and a curse, and all the cities thereof should be perpetual waste. Talking about all your cities of your strongholds, like, you know, the UK, you got Germany, you got Greece, you got all, you know, all these Edomite empires, man, that build up their cities, and, you know, they're westernized cities. Denmark, you know, Luxembourg, all those places, parts of Europe, all their cities should be perpetual waste, and mainly here in America, you know, Chicago, Chicago, LA, Kansas City, New York, Louisiana, Dallas, Houston, you know, all these cities are going to be perpetual waste. Cleveland, Columbus, you know, St. Louis, all these cities are going to be broken down because, first and foremost, when the Civil War starts, you're going to have the military that's going to come in. People are going to trash the city. Okay, bombs and shit going to go off. People are going to throw grenades. You're going to have airstrikes on these cities, man, when they're bombing populations in order to bring in some type of orders. They're going to blow bridges. So it's safe to say that these cities are going to be uninhabitable in a little while. And ultimately, the nuclear weapons coming to finish this place off. Okay, so let me look this up real quick. Look up Bozrah. It says a town in Jordan. All right, so it says Bozrah means sheepfold or enclosed in Hebrew as a pastoral city in Edom, southeast of the Dead Sea. It says it was the home city of one of Edom's kings, Jobab, son of Zerah, and the homeland of Jacob's twin brother Esau. Okay, Bozrah. And this is where it's at on the map. All right, so let's look up. Let's see. I don't know. I'm just doing this for fun, but you'd be surprised on what you find out. Let's look up modern day Basra and see what it says. I mean, they just gonna give me just a glimpse of what's already over there, but I want to see if they're gonna show me a Western city. But probably not. Yeah, because they don't recognize the fact that it's talking about America, Babylon the Great. But I'm gonna show you modern day Basra. Let's look up Chicago, Illinois. You know, city of Chicago. And man, let's see what we get here. Modern day Basra, because we know that Esau dwelled in those caves, so his habitation is high. So when you look at this, this is nothing but caves. This is nothing but a big cave system, a big valley. Because when you look down, you see concrete everywhere. You got concrete buildings, steel beams. This is nothing but a representation of a cave. You know, now they beautified it and made it look all inspiring, but in real life, we're not in the kingdom. We're not gonna have buildings that tall. That's just an accident waiting to happen. Because what happens if one of these skyscrapers are hit by a tomahawk missile and then it collapses, or it blows the skyscraper up? People gonna die. You know, but this is your modern day Basra, and all Edom cities are built up like this. All right, that's Chicago. Now let's look up city of Los Angeles. All right. Another Basra. See, this is all one big city. America's a big city. You know, it's just one big gigantic landmass full of different cities. That's all it is. That's all it is. You look up the city of Kansas City. But this is your modern day Basra. This is the capital city, so to speak. City of Kansas City. And bam, here we go. So, Basra. But anyway, it says, "For I've sworn by myself, says Yahweh, that Basra should become a desolation." And that's talking about you Edomites, and a reproach and waste and curse, and all the cities there should be a perpetual waste. And I've heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador has sent it to thee, that rumor, saying, "Gather ye together and come against her, rise up against her in battle. For lo, I will make thee smug among the heathen and despised among men." Okay, but it says a rumor, because right now, even though World War III is technically started because all of the chess pieces are in place, but the nuclear destruction is still rumor until the chip is passed. All right, which is quite a simple concept to understand. Jeremiah 51, and I'm going to start at verses 45. It says, "My people, go ye out of the midst of her, and deliver ye every man his soul from the fierce anger of the Lord." All right, because that's the weapons of this indignation, those nuclear missiles. "Unless your heart faint, and ye fear for the rumor that should be heard in the land." Okay, and they've been talking about World War III ever since they invaded Ukraine, and then all of a sudden the 10/07/23 kicked off, and now that's when World War tensions have really escalated because of the small hats, as the scriptures say, "The least of the flock should draw them out." All right, and it says here, "And ye fear for the rumor that should be heard in the land. A rumor should both come 1 year, and after that, in another year should come a rumor, and violence in the land, ruler against ruler." Okay, so right now this is nothing but a rumor. Putin warns Russia to prepare NATO attacks along border, and then you got with the Saudis, and you got Iran, and they're coming against America. These are all rumors. Okay, we've been hearing these rumors for a long time, but now they're coming close and close until the destruction comes. But at first, the destruction, the missiles the chip has to be instituted first. That's the only thing that's stopping this prophecy from taking full peak, because Esau wants to drag this thing out to 2030, but I don't think he's going to have that time. All right, so when you look up the word rumor, the word rumor goes into, what is that? Shama Raya, Shama Ra. Report, news, rumor, report, news, tidings, mention. Yep, report, news, rumor, report, news, tidings. Okay, and we're reporting on it. So it's just a rumor at this time. Eventually it will come to pass, but the MOTB has to come first. And it reads, and it says, "Therefore, behold, the days come, that I will do judgment upon the graven images of Babylon, and our whole land should be confounded, this place here. And all her slain shall fall in the midst of her, and then the heavens and the earth, and all that is therein shall sing for Babylon, for the spoiler shall come unto her from the north, says the Lord. And that's talking about the Russians, man. Okay. Let's go to another precept here. Because this shows you here that destruction can't come unless this comes to pass, because it says here, Revelation 13 and 16, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy and sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So in order for this to come to pass, you have to have some type of society intact or some type of degree for this prophecy to go into buying and selling, goes into the economy. You know, so there's going to be pockets of society. I mean, you're going to still have business as usual in other parts of the world. But when they bring this motb to the States, not necessarily sure how it's going to play out because, you know, chaos. But I assume that they're going to implement it in a form of all hell breaking loose to get some type of order. And then people will be able to kind of go back into their own lives, so to speak. But then again, they may do it before the hell break loose. Who knows? But whenever the economy break looses or whenever the economy collapses, that's when I could see them doing this, which is going to bring all hell to the streets of America, you know, and they may use this and say, well, look, if you get the chip, then everything goes back to normal. But at that time, you know, it's going to be like a false flag. Same thing with people that got the, you know what I'm saying? They promised them this and shit come to pass from that. So this may just be another ploy for them to do that. But, you know, we just have to wait and see, you know. But I'm going to end it there, giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Lord's will.